Hey guys, this is Bruce, and welcome to another episode of ConvoCourses, where we're going to be talking live about some questions. Normally, what I do is every day I take out one question from you guys and I answer it. So, we're not going to talk too much on the chat or anything like that. We're going to focus on just the comments that have come through. So, if you want to be a part of this, add comments, and I will, if it's a good question, I will definitely present it here as a video by itself. Where do you put comments, you might ask? On TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, on our community. You can access all of this on ConvoCourses.com. Also, you should know that I have tons of free downloadables. My resume itself, if you're looking for the perfect template for a resume with all the perfect keywords in it and how to do this, check out my resume. It's downloadable for free. ConvoCourses.net is one place you can get it. I've also got all kinds of free downloadables, free templates for you. I've got books and courses that are up to 60% off. Sometimes I go crazy and just give stuff out for free to my audience. You guys are my audience. So if you're interested in this, check it out at ConvoCourses.net. I'm always having some kind of free stuff going on Amazon. Sometimes I'll just give away PDFs for free, my books and stuff, and other great deals. And I'm working on other brands to give you guys more free stuff and discounts and things like that to help you out, help your career out. Now, other than that, if you're just trying to connect with me, you can also do that. Join the newsletter. I'm giving out jobs. I can't do, I've got a job, but I get all of these offers from technical recruiters and all that kind of stuff. You can connect with me at LinkedIn. Here's my LinkedIn address right here. And I pretty much accept everybody because I'm trying to build a gigantic community where we can all have a conversation about cybersecurity, about security compliance, and help one another out in our career paths. That's my purpose. Okay, so let me jump right into this right here. So somebody asked me a question about, let's read the question first. Okay, so what they said was, given your experience working in classified information, how could an Air National Guardsman get away with printing our classified documents for several months? Isn't the Air Force supposed to do auditing of their systems? If they are, then why didn't that pop the audit logs? Meaning the audit logs would trigger if you were trying to do something shady. At least where I work, anytime you print out or burn a CD from a classified environment, it automatically goes to the audit logs and user data. How was this not caught? I feel like an ISO or whatever the Air Force equivalent of an ISO should have caught this. And so that's a great point. And what I would say, well, first of all, let's see what he's talking about. So recently in the news, I don't know if you guys heard about this, and I won't go too much into this. I mean, you've probably already been beat over the head with this already, but there was recently a 20-year-old Air National Guardsman who was suspected of leaking classified information. Here it is right here, the footage of him going to court. I mean, he's looking at a minimum of 15 years in prison for this, and it was apparently he leaked it to the internet to his group. It would be equivalent of me going on my Discord group and then leaking some stuff, which would be pretty crazy. But that's what he did, and I kind of feel bad for him. Man, he's a kid, and now he's gonna end up spending a good years of his life in prison because he just made a very stupid mistake. I mean, as I'm reading it, it just sounds like this kid just, I'm sure if you're out of your 20s, you're out of your teen years, you could think of some stupid stuff that you've done that you just weren't caught, and this happens to be a very stupid thing that he did, a huge mistake. And it doesn't sound like he was a Russian sympathizer. He was trying to destroy the U.S. He was trying to impress his friends. And it's just very dumb. It's very unfortunate. This kid's about to lose a good portion of his life. His life's about to be in prison. So I personally feel like, man, it's just sad that this guy's gonna, he made a huge mistake, and I'm sure he's feeling it right now. And now, had he been a spy or something like that, or he was intentionally going out and trying to get money from China by giving them, or it's some rogue organization or rogue agency, and he was trying to give that to them to hurt the United States, then I wouldn't feel any remorse. But I don't feel like it was like that. I feel like he did something stupid, and it was a huge mistake. But that being said, it is what it is. Let's get back to the question. So what you said was, how could this have happened? And maybe somebody wasn't doing their job properly. Maybe some information system security officer or some information assurance officer wasn't doing their job and they didn't catch this thing. Or maybe the system, more than likely, the system wasn't set up properly to catch this kind of thing. My take is a little bit different in that, yes, you're right. Like, something is definitely amiss in the organization. And for sure, whoever's commander of that place is going to feel, they're going to feel some pain, because that is what's happened is very embarrassing to the U.S. and it's going to be ugly. And if you embarrass the U.S. that high up, somebody's going to feel the pain of that, not just that kid. So that said, another take is this. We're in the business of risk management framework. We're managing the risk. There's no such thing as a system that has zero risk. And no matter how secure you have this system, no matter what you do, unless the system's just off and never turned on and nobody accesses it, there is some risk that data is going to get leaked, that the system's going to get breached, that something's going to happen. And the only thing we can do as cybersecurity people is manage the risk to where there's a smaller likelihood that it will happen. A smaller likelihood doesn't mean zero. So that's our job. Just make sure, get the risk as small as possible. You're right. Maybe the audit logs weren't turned on with this system. Why did he even have access? I mean, maybe that was his job to have access, but why? You're right. If you're printing out something on a classified system, which is what he looked like he did. He looks like he printed it out and then he took a picture of it and then he put it on his site. Why isn't that when you printed it out, the audit logs didn't capture that and it's got sent to somebody? That said, even if that's the case, even if the audit logs go to, a SOC team or something like that, they're getting like a million different messages coming through. There's no such thing as 100% secure system. So I wouldn't doubt it if this is happening all the time, just on a much smaller scale, and those people aren't just not getting caught. So at the end of the day, any system that has a person that's logging into it, any system that is turned on and has information being stored, processed, or transmitted, it doesn't matter the classification, it doesn't matter how much security you put on it. There is a risk, and that risk is not zero. And so all we can do is get the risk number as low as possible, so it decreases the likelihood that something like this will happen. And it's the same thing with the background check. This you can do. I just went through probably 6 months of background checks, and to get access to some sensitive information in the organization I work for. And they could have investigated me for another 2 years, and they're not going to be able to. There's still risk involved with every person. All personnel is going to comes with some level of risk, and there's no 0% chance. There's no zero in this equation. There's no zero sum security that's going to happen on any level, because that information exists. And therefore, there is a risk that it can get corrupted, it can get stolen, it can get leaked, it can, there's always risk. So that's the world we live in. Like, we live in a world of risk, and we have to work in this world. So could something have been done? It sounds like they're going to have to be way tighter on who has access to this information and who can print the information. Like, probably you have one place that everything's printed and that's monitored very, very closely. Things like that. And then why does he have a phone to take a picture of it? But I guess he took it back home. Like, he printed it out and then he stowed it in his bag and then took it home and had it on the kitchen table and took a picture of it, which there's just no way around the leaks that are about to happen. And like I said, I think that this is happening all the time. It's just not getting caught. And that's not saying, oh, well, there's a problem with, no, like, you can't stop every leak. Like, you can't, it's like you can't, there's no such thing as a system that will never be hacked. There's no such thing as a system that is 100% secure. There's no such thing as, there's risk involved with everything. So it is what it is. Hopefully the organization will learn something from it. I'm sure that they will, because this is going all the way to the president, and they got the whole FBI on this dude's doorstep. So there will be repercussions, and hopefully they learn from this. But that's all I got for this one, guys. I will see you guys on the next one tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Oh, also, if you want to get involved with our community, have a conversation with us, we do much longer sessions than this that are live every Saturday, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Great, best place to catch us. But every now and then I'll do lives where I'm chatting with you guys. You know, right now I'm just focusing on one thing per day. But if you want to have your great comment read by me and introduced to the whole world, then you can go on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, anywhere where you see ConvoCourses, at ConvoCourses. Comment, and I will get your comment, and I'll make a whole video about it just like this. But in the meantime, guys, I'm out of here. See you guys tomorrow.